We're gonna see if it works. I'm gonna videotape for those who aren't able to
Well,
be
mine
here.
isn't near that
So,
big, gracious.
yeah, I had to get the biggest one. I love my Instant Pot. I got my first Instant Pot because I heard I could make Greek yogurt in it.
Make what?
Greek yogurt, and
Greek
it's
yogurt.
fabulous. Have
See, I've heard that too.
you made?
I hope you
Oh,
brought
I've
some
never
recipes
tried
for
that.
us.
I did see
Oh,
your
yeah.
stack. Yep,
Oh,
it is.
really?
So yeah, I'm gonna pretend you guys know nothing. Have you used your Instant Pot? Okay. So you have not, and you have
Yeah,
not,
I
basically.
burned,
You burned stuff in it.
no, I cooked some brown beans. That's the only
Okay.
thing I've ever done.
All right. Well, one of the pages halfway back says acronyms and terminology. You're gonna want this if you've never really used your Instant Pot. IP is what you'll see, so if you're looking for recipes online, they may just say IP, and that stands for Instant Pot. So it may not
Okay.
spell out Instant Pot, so just look
Okay.
for that. You have, no matter which one you have the choice of high pressure or low pressure. High pressure is what you think of with the with the pressure cookers. The other one, just think slow cooker. It's just heating up, and you can just put a regular lid on it. It's not
What is the
gonna,
difference in this and a pressure cooker?
the pressure cooker cooks a lot faster.
The pressure cooker
Yes.
cooks faster than this?
No, I'm sorry. The difference between cooking on low pressure and high pressure is high pressure cooks it a lot faster.
So this one cooks higher than the pressure cooker?
She's asking the difference between the Instant Pot and the pressure cooker.
It's a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
I
that's
don't
what
know.
thought.
Yeah,
It's
they're
just
all just
electric
pressure
instead of on the
cookers.
stove, yeah.
Yes.
So do you have an Instant Pot brand? You think? Just so you know, this lid is not mechanical at all. You actually can put it in the dishwasher. I have not. The only thing it has is this little thing that moves, this little lip up here. But there is nothing electronic. Hey, we have a packet there. So if you want to put it in the dishwasher, you can. I haven't, okay? The other thing to know, you'll see my little brown ring in here. It's a little rubber ring. This little guy, if you pull on it, will pull out or push underneath it until it does. And I just take it out and I throw it on the top of my dishwasher rack and wash it sometimes. But let me just tell you, it still smells like smoked meat, and I can still do my favorite cheesecake in here. It doesn't change anything as far as flavor.
Cheesecake in there?
Best cheesecake you'll ever make is in the Instant Pot.
Is your recipe
And I
in
gave
here?
you the recipe, so we'll go through it.
Things I've never used
Maybe that's
before.
where-
Yes, there's so much you can do. So, I'm gonna just show you what you need to do if you've never opened it and you've got to start and know that it works right and feel like you can trust yourself with it. And while it's heating up, then I'm gonna show you what you need. So, your lid, just, once it turns all the way, you're closed, okay? And there's a little pin at the top that pops up when it's fully pressurized. And you will not be able to open it at that point, okay? So, it also has an inside pot. Don't forget to put the inside pot into your Instant Pot before you dump your fluid in, because you'll make a big mess. It has measurements for cups inside, which is convenient.
You just fill it up to that line, fill it up to the...
Well, for anything you cook in the Instant Pot, you have got to have liquid, or it'll just burn on the bottom and turn off. So it needs liquid to build steam so it can lock down and be shut. So you always have to have liquid. The minimum is a cup. I usually push it to, I would rather have a cup and a half, but that includes even if I'm doing a whole roast. As long as you have a cup and a half-ish of liquid, then the rest of the liquid's gonna kind of start brewing out of your roast. So to test an Instant Pot, if you haven't done yours yet, you just need, I left my little cup over here, excuse me. We're just gonna boil water so that it can steam and build up pressure to make sure it's sealing right. Because you have to know first that it's sealing right if you've never done that. Have you used an Instant Pot at all? Okay. So
Makes good chili.
you can, it's amazing what you can do in here. So I just grabbed water and I'm close to 2 cups, so we're just gonna call it good. So one of the things that people get frustrated with the Instant Pot is you have to wait till it builds pressure before it starts counting down the amount of time that you're cooking something. So I'm doing it backwards and it doesn't make sense. Okay, so I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna push manual. Right here, it shows it's on the highest pressure, which is what I want. I'm gonna leave it on 14 minutes, and pretty soon that'll go away. And it's letting me know now that it's gonna start building pressure because it's gonna start heating up the water. The only other thing you need to know is there's this little vent up here that's kind of wonky. You'd think it'd be real secure, it's not. And you gotta make sure you close the vent. So you have one side says venting and one side says sealing. Make sure you're on sealing or you're not building any pressure. So it has to build pressure, has to make that little pin pop up, then it'll start counting down. All we care about is did it build pressure and push that pin up. Then I know it's sealed good.
Did you set it for 14 minutes?
It's on whatever you had it on the last time you cooked, that's what's gonna come up. So I did
You don't
14.
change it for different recipes?
Yes, you do, but I don't need to because I'm just waiting for it to heat up. And then I'm
okay,
gonna turn it
okay.
right back off.
Okay.
So while that's doing that, just if you guys don't know, the other things you can get for the Instant Pot, like if you like egg bites, Starbucks egg bites, make them yourself. They're really good in here and they're really fast in the Instant Pot. This is probably the tool I use more often. I just like if I'm doing hard-boiled eggs, which I do them in the Instant Pot, and you'll see a definition of 555 method. If you want to test your water and see if it works, and then you want to test one more thing, you just drop either onto your trivet, which this comes with every machine. You can just have this inside. Just put like 4 or 5 eggs in there, and you set it for 5 minutes, and it will take about 6 minutes to heat up. Then it'll count down the 5 minutes. It'll beep when it's done. You let it then slow release, meaning the steam just slowly starts coming out for 5 minutes. Then you go ahead and open it. You release the rest of the steam. I'll show that to you in a minute. And then that way, once you can take the eggs out, you put them into a ice bath for 5 minutes. So 5 minutes in here, 5 minutes of slowly releasing steam, and then you take them out and put them in a bath for 5 minutes, and they peel like no eggs you've ever peeled before. So I like this one better. It's rubbery. Once in a while, you'll get burn marks on the outside of your eggshell if you use the metal one, but anyway.
Where do you buy those?
Anywhere they have Instant Pots. Hey, come in. We need another chair back here, and we will get you another.
Right there.
I'll sit right by Kenny.
Okay.
Come on, I'll let bite you.
Will you? Do you know how to make copies?
No.
Okay, I'll go make them in a minute.
I'll share with Linda till
This
I
whole thing or just one of these?
No,
So
just
this
2
is
of them
the
probably would be.
metal. Uh-oh.
This
Thank you.
actually was like this, but we're just kinda in the middle,
So it's is that the whole package? or
Yes,
the whole one of these?
whole packet.
Oh, okay,
but that's where we are right now.
okay.
Have you used an Instant Pot yet at all?
All the time.
Okay, good.
I love it.
Good. Well, then we're not going to worry about showing you how to test it to see if it's working. Right now, we're going through the waiting for it to steam and all that. Okay. Yes, cheesecake. I have 3 of these because I am telling you the best cheesecake in the world is in the Instant Pot. You can't beat it. But I also like it because this is what fits inside, and so I can't make a monstrous big cheesecake and eat it all. So, that's good to have, but I do love this. This is another one of the little trivets that holds, sorry, I should remember that I'm filming.
Yeah.
This holds eggs. This is the cheesecake. So,
But the red thing held eggs also.
yes, and I like it because then you also have the handles to just pull it up and out.
So you don't
Kinda
get
like-
burned on that.
Is this your
No.
recipe then, key lime cheesecake?
That's one of them. Mine is just the cheesecake. Just plain cheesecake is the one that I've kind of tweaked and played with. So I love doing that though. Okay, so some other things just on our acronyms. There's quick release and natural release. That's just moving this little gadget up here so it lets the steam out. You're gonna see that in a minute. But you'll have recipes that say do a quick release. That just means open it so the steam can come out, and when it's done and the little metal thing drops down, you're safe to open it. So Some of them say natural release. Most recipes take about 10 minutes to release all the pressure once you've turned it off. So if
And
you're
it'll
supposed to do
Will
that,
it tell you on the front that it's off?
yes, you'll see it'll show, you either just turn it off or it just kind of slightly simmers. It'll still release pressure, but I prefer to just turn it off completely.
Yeah, I turn it off,
yeah.
and then I usually use like a wooden spoon. Do it faster.
Yeah, well, be careful about pushing down
Oh,
on the
not
little,
that, just the lid,
Oh.
just the,
this little guy,
Yeah.
yeah. See, I'm just getting some steam coming out, if you can see that. And my little red thing, if you guys want, I can't pick it up and move it, but if you can't see it, the little red dot, just get the little red metal guy came up. And now it's gonna start counting down, cause I said do it for 14 minutes. That's how you test to make sure it seals properly. So it has steamed, it's gotten up to full pressure, and now the little red button is up, and it's very hot, but I know that's full pressure, okay? So we'll assume our roast said it's finished and you're supposed to do natural release, then I just turn it off, so it says off, okay? Natural release means ignore it. Just let it sit there. It'll slowly release the steam, and maybe 10 minutes. So you set a timer for 10 minutes. If not, if it tells you you can do quick release, I still use like a spoon or something like you said. There is hot steam coming out of this when you move it. So just use something, and it's super easy because it's just barely over, and I just push it. Oh yeah, to release. Yep. Yeah. So you always use something. And very often I just have my silicone mat, in my hand, and I just hit it. But just leave it alone till it's done. It does take just a few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes or so, to release enough steam for our little red button to drop, which then lets us open the lid again. So,
because if you open it before, what will happen?
well, you can't until that red thing goes down. You cannot open it. So if I twist, and you see, I cannot twist this at all because the red lock is on.
That blow up in the face.
Yes, it would if I really could open it. It potentially could.
Okay, you're cooking a roast, but you can't put potatoes and carrots in. They'd be mush full of roast.
No, you add them partway through. So you do a quick release. You wait, see how it's getting better and better and better. Pretty soon you'll see or hear the little red thing drop down.
And then you go back
And
and
then you throw in the veggies, and then you close it and set it
And
again.
then you don't have to add more
Thank
juice?
you. No, not at all.
Huh.
Yeah, it works great. So this is where I get impatient. There's barely any steam. Come on, drop, but just ignore it. You have to ignore it and let it. So there it goes. I don't know if you heard it, but it just clicked. So now, real easy to twist, okay? And if you don't know, if you have an Instant Pot, when you pick the lid up, kind of get the water off, and it is intended to sit in the little slat on your handles. So that helps.
I realized that.
I didn't know that.
Yay!
I know.
It saves a mess.
I used mine
That's
once,
what
that's
see,
all.
no matter what you think you know, it's always nice to come
Exactly.
with something like this.
Yeah, well, somebody had to tell me. I didn't pick up on it
Yes,
right away,
get
so.
tips and tricks.
So now we can actually make something, because I already have really nice hot water in here, so just so you can see what it does. If you're doing, I'm debating, I think I'm gonna sit them in this. I'm gonna do apples with cinnamon and sugar and raisins. And you know how long it takes to bake an apple. It takes forever, so we're gonna let it go and bake these little guys quickly.
Have you
But I
peeled
gotta-
them or they got the peels?
No, I gotta mix them. I gotta mix the stuff real quick, so I figured I'll just show you guys what I'm doing.
Does anybody ever cook rice
Or
in
the
it?
middle.
Huh?
Anybody ever cook rice?
I want,
Takes
I
like
wanna use
3
mine
minutes.
once.
Yeah, I love doing rice in
I
it.
just use my rice pot.
All right,
I
So
use
how
my
long do you
rice
cook
pot.
I have a rice pot. and
I
have
think
just a regular
mine,
pot
because
on
I
the stove
do
that
a
most
little
use,
bit.
But I do
I
like
wanna
doing
say
it.
it's-
Yeah, I usually got my meat in there, so.
I was gonna say 5 minutes maybe. All
Okay.
right, they're saying for 4. I don't think they have enough sugar, so we're gonna add
My
more.
friend that I play golf with today, I told him where we're coming tonight, and he says, what are you gonna do? I said, we're gonna have a lesson on Instapot. He said, what's that? Instant marijuana?
No, that's a little different. If you guys don't have one of these, this is one of my favorite gadgets in my kitchen. It's a chopper, but it uses a pole and then it spins really fast. So I put my pecans in here so I could show you guys. Oh, it's very hard to do when you're holding it. What did I do?
I have an electric one.
Yeah, I don't have an electric one.
Okay.
There it goes.
Yeah,
Oh, you get a little
a
work.
lot easier to wash than
I
mine.
mean, it really,
Oh.
yeah, I love this thing.
Just a little one.
All
Where'd
right.
you get that?
I always order it off QVC, so when it breaks, I order another one, and I've had this for like 3 or 4
Where's
years.
QVC?
Home Shopping Network, those things. The TV shopping thing. QVC, that's the only place I've ordered them, but I know you can get them in other places.
Amazon probably has one.
Where have you been?
I don't know. He gave me an Instant Pot for Christmas and I cooked brown beans in it. That's the only thing I've ever done. I just put it in the box and put it in the garage.
All right.
You're just losing because it is
I know,
so
I
good.
know. That's,
I'm
I
forgetting
was so
something.
tickled when I saw this.
Apples,
Right.
brown
Yeah, when I
sugar,
saw this,
cinnamon,
I'm like,
raisins,
oh,
pecans, that's it. And a cup of water, which is sitting in the bottom, so.
And
Or
then-
Amazon.
Then when you click on it,
You use a credit card on it? You use- Okay.
but you can type in whatever you're
I'm
looking
gonna
for.
write down QVC.
Or Amazon.
And to make sure you tell your
I found
husband
my
we were
pen
selling
over
choppers.
Amazon is probably easy. Do you ever order?
He was
off
wondering what I
Amazon?
was
Yeah, but I
selling
can't
tonight.
find my order number. My
fair.
I said, oh yeah, women's ministry's going to MLM.
You need the password to get on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Provide it, and then they'll,
Well, that's
they'll
not so
issue
bad,
it.
is it?
I've never done this recipe, so, but I figured any way you can cook an applesauce
Can you
will
put
show what an Instant Pot will do, so.
That's what I'm doing.
Can I look in there and see what you did? You got chopped nuts and brown sugar? No.
Brown sugar, cinnamon, chopped nuts, and raisins.
Okay.
Just sat them in,
Oh,
So you just cut the core out?
This
Uh-huh.
is bothering me tonight.
Okay.
just the center.
Little one.
So, here we go, I can, this is what they look like. Okay, I just kind of barely filled them. Now, this says, okay, it's still hot, so I'm having to push down to get it to finally pull over to lock. Okay, this
Did you have to
says,
add more water?
nope, because I still have more than a cup in there.
Oh, okay.
Set the time to 5 minutes, high pressure. So I turn it back on, and it's always on high pressure on mine. Whoops, I did that. And now I just have to change it. Oh, did I go the wrong way? How did I get that?
You hadn't had
What did I
any
say, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Why is it not letting me?
You're trying to look at it upside down, probably.
It's really hard to do upside down. Okay,
know.
manual, there we go. 5 minutes on manual. Move the valve back to seal. I can't tell you how many times it's been half an hour and I went.
And you haven't ever said it, yeah.
So
I did
if
that
you don't
one
move this
time.
little guy, you're gonna be sorry. So it's on seal. It will take probably another 1.5 to 2 minutes to get enough steam to lock. And then it's 5 minutes. So we're gonna see if it really makes them soft. Okay, what else is on here? Pot in pot, you'll hear a lot, and that would be what I just did. I put something inside the pot to bake in or whatever. Whether it's this, there's sometimes like I did fish and some vegetables, and I didn't want the fish taste in it. So I put the vegetables in this. You can put foil over it. Don't worry about that. It still heats everything up. And then sat it in on top, or the other thing on top of it. But so you can do pots inside the pot. Same thing with the.
And one doesn't flavor the other, it doesn't affect the other?
You will definitely want to cover up one. I mean, I wouldn't probably try doing the fish and the cheesecake together, but it might be interesting to try.
I won't do fish at all, so it doesn't
Yes.
matter.
The only problem with the cheesecake is it takes a while. You have to ignore it. All right, I think everything else we kind of talked about. The sealing knob, the inside pot liner. You will at some point take it out, put it in the sink to wash it, and go to start your meal and pour your water right into the unit. Just pour it out and wash it out good. I gave you an Instant Pot cheat sheet, which will be real helpful to know how long to cook certain meats. Which, I mean, this is crazy. A whole chicken, 8 minutes per pound. That's just crazy. But when you pull it out and see what it really does, I will say I love doing roast in the Instant Pot. Absolutely love it. But you do have to let it still go long enough, and you'll want to sear it in the bottom of the Instant Pot. So if you're gonna do a roast, you have the choice of saute right here. That just really heats up the element on the bottom. A little bit of oil in there, and you can start searing your meat real good, and it will sear really good. And then you add your liquids and start cooking whatever. But
And if you wanna saute the onions and stuff,
Yep.
it's so nice. with
it works great.
You don't have to do it separate in a
Yes.
frying pan.
Yeah.
So you
Good
leave the
point.
lid off and just do it like a
Yeah,
skillet?
Yeah.
exactly. You're using it like a
And
skillet.
you don't make a mess because of the high sides.
Yep.
You don't have grease popping out everywhere either.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works fabulously for
And
that.
then you turn it off and then pressure cook it, you know.
Yep.
Put
You
your
can
stuff
just
in.
haul out your regular stove, just get rid of it.
Okay, good.
So like one, and you guys,
It's new
whatever,
and it has a,
oh, I hope I
has a quick.
I try really hard to make sure I acknowledge who these things are from. And now I'm seeing that her website is not on the bottom of her pages, so I stole this from somebody online. She let me print it and it does not say who she is. I just realized that, so I'll have to go look if I can find it. But what is important is things like this. So when somebody asks something about doing beans, you need to know how much liquid you need compared to beans, because it will burn onto the bottom of it, and then it will tell you burn, it'll say burn on it, and it's not gonna cook your food because it's burning on there. So this would be really nice to have. I did not have these cheat sheets when I started.
Are those in our,
Yeah, you've got all that. My recipes are just the black and white. Okay, these are the ones that are on my phone, and I just went in and printed them for you
Yeah, I
guys.
did the
So
baby back ribs where you wrap them around. That was,
the best ribs that fall off the bone I've ever had are in the Instant Pot, and nobody believes that. My son was like, "No, I'm not eating them, Mom." And then I made them, and he couldn't believe it. They're amazing. So you literally wrap them standing on end, you know, inside, and the key is what you steam them with. So I'm going to run through my recipes just to tell you why these work so well, or if there's anything to think about, okay? So the Mongolian beef, which is from P.F. Chang's, that's my second favorite thing to make in the Instant Pot. It's with flank steak, and yes, chicken broth, not beef broth, and it makes a world of difference. I don't know why. I tried beef broth because I knew chicken broth made no sense. Why would you put chicken broth in with beef? But you need to use chicken broth.
have you tried the spicy broths now? Yeah,
No.
spicy chicken and spicy
I haven't
beef.
tried those yet.
It's spicy.
Ooh, I'm not a real spicy person. All right, so all you do is cut the meat. It'll tell you, put the frozen flank steak. You don't even have to defrost. I love it. Put the frozen flank steak in, put the broth in with garlic and Worcestershire sauce. Tells you to cook it at high pressure for 35 minutes. Then it says to add more garlic and soy sauce and oil, simmer for a little bit, add
wait,
some water.
when you cooked it 35 minutes, how do you add more broth? You have to let it all cool down?
Yep, you have to push the little valve so it releases the steam so you can open the lid. And then you add everything back in, and then you're just sauteing, so it's not too much. Then you close it all up, set it again for 3 minutes, and I am telling you, it is amazing. It is so good, just like P.F. Chang's. So these are the ones that have been tested, tried and true by me. Now, whether you like this kind of food, I don't know, but the baby back ribs, the rub, you can use any rub you like. This is just the rub that I like, so I stuck with it because I like it a little bit sweet. If you have another rub, oh, there's more back there. She made more. Thank you. That's okay.
How many ribs do you put in?
I've done 2 packages if you want one. Yeah, mine's a bigger Instant Pot. But they don't have, they can just be wrapped all the way to the middle, and it works totally fine. So, in your Instant Pot, water, vinegar, which is important, and liquid smoke makes all the difference in the flavor. So don't cheat yourself out by going, we probably don't need it. It's only a teaspoon. It makes a world of difference with ribs. So that's all the liquid. So it's 1.5 cups of liquid basically. And then you put your rub all over the baby back ribs, wrap them around inside, 25 minutes. Then it says 10-minute natural release, which means when this is done and it beeps, I just ignore it for 10 minutes. The nice thing is this starts counting down, or counting up, I guess you'd say. So it'll tell you you're at 8 minutes, you're at 9 minutes. Okay, now you've let it release for 10 minutes. Now go ahead and release the rest of the steam. And you take them
Just
out.
by opening the lid or pushing it?
Always pushing the valve till all the steam's gone and the red thing goes down. Can't open the lid, can't twist it when the red button's up. So, and then the key is you pull them out and it will, hold on, let me get my thoughts together again. Normally when you do ribs, you peel off that little white skin fat layer. Don't do that. You'll never get them out of the Instant Pot. You will get meat and no ribs, and that will glue them together until you're ready. So don't peel that off. Get them out, put them on a cookie sheet that's lined with foil, and put them under the broiler just to get that nice kind of crispy, brown, dark, whatever. Then slicing them is almost, they just fall apart. They just fall apart. They're amazing. Probably my husband's favorite thing is the baby back ribs. Key lime cheesecake. I made it one time. It was fabulous. Where's my cheesecake? Hold on. Those are the dinner rolls. Ooh, garlic Parmesan chicken is really good. There it is. Okay. So, Instant Pot. Pull that again. Cheesecake IP, that's the one I'm talking about that's so good, okay? Let me just kind of go through it so it makes sense. When they tell you room temperature on eggs, they mean room temperature on eggs. Cheesecake will not come out as good if you use cold eggs. You've got to get them to room temperature, which you can do by putting them in a bowl of warm water if you want. So, okay?
Set them up the night before or that morning.
Yeah. So your ingredients are at the top for the cheesecake, then your crust, then your sour cream topping, which I'd never done before, but oh my, I guess that's New York or something, I don't know, but wow, it's really good. So you get your cream cheese, eggs, and sour cream to room temperature, okay? Totally room temperature on that cream cheese also, so, okay? Prepare your crust. Mix your crumbs and your sugar and your melted butter just like we normally do, and then you're going to press it into the bottom of the pan. I don't go up the sides at all. I just press it in the bottom of the pan, okay? That's just my preference. Let's see. Yeah, mash them down. See, the recipe says to go halfway up the sides. That's just your choice. Okay, we're doing the apple recipe, and she says 5 minutes at high pressure. When it's done, natural release for 5 minutes. So I'm ignoring it, and what you'll see, it says L for low, 000. When it gets up to 5 minutes, then I've let it release for 5 minutes. So that's the nice thing. It does the work for you. It'll count up to it, okay? All right, so press your crumbs, however much you want, up the sides or whatever, and put it in the freezer. You need it to get hardened before you do the rest. Then you make your cheesecake batter. I did use my KitchenAid. I thought it was easier. Tells you what to mix. Pour it into your number 6. Pour the batter into the cheesecake pan. Tap it, get the air bubbles out, and then you're wrapping this completely in foil. Okay, so I've got my crust, I've poured my cheesecake in, I lay this on a long sheet of foil and I wrap it up over the top.
The whole pan.
The whole pan. You want the entire thing wrapped in foil. So I usually do the foil, 2 sheets this way, put it in the middle, and I just wrap them up and tighten all the edges down. Because you don't want water dripping into your cheesecake. That makes it not good. Okay? Now we're gonna bake the cheesecake. It tells you put 1.5 cups of water in, set it for high pressure, which I can't show you right now, and it goes for 45 minutes
You're setting it on a rack.
on
On this side. Right.
and you can even use the rubbery one. What do you call the
Just to
silicone?
get, yeah, okay.
You just want it off the floor.
Right.
Yeah, but this works. I mean, this comes with all of them and it works fine, so. Okay, so you're gonna set it in there, it's all wrapped, it's all nice and beautiful. You cook it for 45 minutes. When you hear the beep, you wait 20 minutes of natural release, okay? When the pin drops on its own, so don't try and get the steam to come out. When it drops, then you can open the lid, you mix your sour cream topping, pour it over the top of it, take your cheesecake out, pour it over the top of it, and then unwrap the foil. We don't put it back in, right? Yes, you let it cool. This is what gets me. So we've cooked it for 45. We've waited 20 minutes for the release. We've taken it out. I open the foil. I put the wonderful cream cheese mixture on top. And then you have to leave it sit there for 1.5 hours on your counter because it has to cool down before you put it in the refrigerator. So there you go. You leave it on the counter for 1.5 hours. Do you guys have a third page?
Yes.
Oh, I do too. Good. Then you cover it and put it in the fridge for 12 hours. That's the reason
That's probably why I
cheesecake
don't
is
like
good.
cheesecake.
I know. But it takes all day to make it in the oven, and at least this way, you're just putting it in the fridge for 12 hours. So that's it.
I like my cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory.
I know, me too.
This recipe is for that pan right there, about that
It's about this
Not
size.
like
Yep,
cheesecake.
exactly.
Oh,
And I will,
I never used.
if I'm gonna be doing this, I'm gonna be doing probably 3 of them. And you can stack them together. You can stack them, because it's not, it's getting the heat and the pressure, but not really like what you think. So I've stacked 2. I think I could do 3, but I'm not really sure.
I have a question.
You have the 8
There
course.
was 3 of these,
Mhm.
and then this says,
That's a
Kilo.
That's
a
another one.
different one, but that's all
That's a
you need
separate
about.
oh,
That's just a
that
one
had nothing to do
page.
with that. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so that's my cheesecake. Woo, the heat, the air turned back off. I just now realized, I'm like, why am I sweating so much? Let's get it colder again.
On the left, if you do the left one for the time.
I'd rather be warm than
Oh,
cold.
it says hold
I
till
made
7:30.
2 trips to the Garland
Okay.
County recycle place today.
Active, press here for info.
Plastic
One
bottles
active
of
alert.
Kodak.
What kind of alert is
All this
that?
water and I put it.
Okay,
and I
see what
got
it
a
says,
bag of it
low?
in the garage.
And it's up to 4. We're supposed to wait 5. So we have 1 more minute to wait for our apples.
Take this, hold this water bottle.
'Cause I am
Oh,
sweating.
yeah, you probably got hot with all that
Buy
steam.
drinking water.
All right.
We have 5 to 7 cases in
While we're
the
waiting
garage.
1 more minute, then my Instant Pot garlic parmesan chicken. Another one of my favorites. Just read through the recipe. I don't think there's anything in here except never cook pasta in an Instant Pot. It's not, that's my opinion. It's not worth it. Do it on the stove. You have control. You
It's
can
just
get it
mush.
out. This can turn it into a solid mush. Baby food, yes, but not noodles.
I'm curious about the bread. Have you made that?
Oh, sorry, I'm like, I
Instant-
didn't think there was bread in this
The
recipe.
dinner rolls. The dinner rolls.
Yeah, the no knead dinner rolls.
Yeah.
I've only done them once, and they were very good.
Yeah.
But I'm a sourdough girl, or I was. I'm not anymore because I'm allergic. I made it so much, I made myself allergic to it. But they were very good. They were very good, but it takes a long time. I'm just saying, still takes a long time. I probably won't make them again, but someone who loves making bread or making rolls or whatever, you will love it. It's a great recipe. Okay.
Cheese, chicken.
All right, what other, are we at 5? Okay, so on her recipe, she says wait 5 minutes at high pressure, let it naturally release for 5, and then release it. So now I'm gonna push it to vent. And you notice how much different it is from the first time when it went,
Yeah,
because it's almost all released. But it's not yet, because the red button is still up. So I still cannot open it, can't even jiggle it. I have to
It
wait
won't
for
let
that.
you open it, so
Nope.
you can't blow it up in your face.
And now it turned. I mean, it's just, so I always pick it up, push away from me, let it drip. And then put your little handle into the handle.
No, that's not what mine.
Well, Tracy,
It's not that big.
you didn't think this through real well. 'Cause I
The
meant
mints come in different
to
sizes.
use,
Yes.
no, I think I'm okay, but I meant to
Okay.
use my little red one that has the
Yeah.
little handles to pull up, but
Six
I'm gonna
quart.
see if they're really,
smaller than that.
Yeah, that's a big.
Do you want
think
like
they are.
tongs?
Yeah.
nah, I'm gonna just
Is
grab
that
it.
8 quart?
Oops.
That's an
Yes.
8, yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think
then
that's the biggest you can get.
I think so.
I'm just gonna cut this so you guys can see. Woo! Ooh, okay, I would go another minute. I bet you if we leave it in here for another minute or 2, it's really close. If you do baked apples, how do you like them? Like some people like them to have just a little bit of that crisp. Some people want them mush all the way through. I want it not mushy mushy, but this is a little crisp for me. And I've never made this, so.
So you're gonna put them back in, just close the lid and they'll keep cooking?
Yep, close it and reseal it again. Mm-hmm.
But that's a good thing to show, that you can put things back in.
Yes, you can. I'm just gonna put all that right back in. Cause I mean, if we're gonna taste it, I at least don't want it to be. So, if I look, I still have more than a cup of water, cause really, where's the steam go while it's cooking? But it's very hot, so it's still creating steam. So I'm pushing down, and when I do that, the red button pops up. So sometimes it'll just take a minute. There we go. Now I can turn it, put it back, make sure it's sealing, not venting. And I'm just gonna go back to manual and do like 2 minutes. It's got to steam
And if
again.
you're not sure, it says on there what it's doing.
Yes.
It's
And I just
So
went
you
to my
didn't have to
papers.
add more liquid?
No.
I didn't, it still had enough in there.
You have to look and make sure there's liquid in it?
Right, you always, and it has those little lines up the side, so as long as it's at a cup, you've got enough.
Oh, add a cup,
At
okay.
1 cup, you always have to have a minimum of 1 cup, okay? Those of you that have used yours, questions or genius ideas that we need to hear?
Another thing with it, just because I had to figure out what had happened one time, was, I make gravy with the roast.
Mhm.
Because I'll brown, well, usually it's beef, deer stew. I make deer stew
Yes.
in all the time. So I brown it on the stove though, with flour. I
Right.
brown it real a lot. Then I take the grimise,
That's a roux.
the
Right,
roux,
made
the
a
roux at
roux.
the bottom, and put it in the crock pot with water.
Okay,
If it gets too thick and the water evaporates too, it'll give you error message.
Yeah, it'll say
click
burn.
off and everything.
It'll say
Then
burn
then I'll
and
have to
it'll quit
open it
heating.
and add some
Yeah,
more
probably make
water.
gravy.
Yeah.
Because the gravy gets too thick.
right,
I had that happen to me,
and I'll take
twice.
the
You have to wait
roast,
till it cools and the steam's gone before you can open it, right?
Right.
you can't open it even if you try to.
Oh, you can't,
Until
okay.
all the steam's gone and the red button pops up.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry, but it might take another
Yeah.
couple of minutes.
Yeah.
I will pull my roast out, which is, again, I'll show you why. That's why this is my favorite one, because it stays up on the sides, and it gives me that easy handle to kind of grab with my mitt and pull out the roast. Even some of the potatoes or whatever, they'll fall over, but then I use my slotted spoon to get the rest out. But it works great. So get all your stuff out of the gravy liquid, and then for me, I add the cornstarch and milk or cornstarch and water and put it on saute, because it'll heat that up real good and get it going. Makes it all nice and thick, and I pour everything back in on top of it after I've sliced up the roast or torn it apart or whatever, so.
I think it would make even a boot tender. It
I
really
think
does.
we should test that. When you make your shoes, let's test one of them to see if we can tenderize.
Bring a boot to a class and we'll make a boot.
Yeah.
I think shoe leather would even be tenderized.
Mhm.
It does.
I love that.
What else have you guys that have used it? What have you done that you love? What have you done? Or have you only used it a little bit, or do you use it a
When
lot?
the kids are around, I used to use it all the time. I
Okay.
don't use it as much now.
Right.
Lots of chicken, like tons of chicken, tons and tons.
Yeah.
Because it's done so quickly. and you
Comes
can
out
use it in
fabulously.
everything, yeah.
Mhm.
I baked potatoes in them
Oh.
once. I tried that because we were, you know.
I haven't tried
had
baked
time to
potatoes
do
yet.
it. And they're okay
Okay.
in the microwave, but they have a different.
So it's on
flavor.
now, popped up.
I sometimes got a crock pot going and an instant pot going because our class, we have a food train, a meal train.
Yes.
So if I'm cooking stuff,
But it
then
was.
Get both of them going.
got both of them going.
And if you don't know, this can be used as a crock pot. So I don't have a crock pot anymore. So you have all these options. So like I make a ton of soup.
And it still has a different flavor than the baked bake, but I
Be
like it
nice.
better than the microwave.
I make a lot of soups. And so don't think pressure, just think it's a big pot. But it's really nice to just have it all in here. And I usually can't open it right now, but I'll just kind of barely put the lid on, or I'll take my biggest lid from my pot that's clear and it almost sits perfect on it. But I like it because it's 8 quarts. You can make a lot of soup. So that's just gonna be no pressure, just regular cooking. If you're doing meat or stew, if it's a thicker, that's the button you're gonna push. So the recipe I gave you for a stew, beans and chili, that you wanna do that because it knows to not let the beans burn. And so it's gonna force you to add more liquid. So it's just intuitive. Poultry, and then you have rice, multigrain I have never done, porridge I have never done, steam I have never done, but yogurt, oh my
That's what I
stars.
wanna know, how to make.
And I didn't get my yogurt recipe out because that was not on my phone where all my Instant Pot recipes are. But I will, if you guys will email me, I'll email it to you. Let me remember. So I do Fairlife milk, whole milk. So it's not diet yogurt at all. I do Fairlife, and you take about a tablespoon of any yogurt, vanilla or plain, not flavored. That's what starts the whole process of it turning into another yogurt. You
So
put
you can buy the little cups of yogurt to use
just
to
one.
put in it?
and you just need like a tablespoon.
Oh, okay.
And I think salt. There's one other thing. But you put it in, you set it for yogurt. It's not high pressure, but it'll count down 8 hours. It takes 8 hours. And then you look at it. What am I doing? I'm cooking
5
it.
minutes.
Thank you. 5 minutes. It's about 8 hours, so I start mine at night. So in the morning, it's close to or past that 8 hour mark where it's really gotten nice and thick. And then you do need to strain it. You get the whey? No, what is it called? Is it whey when it comes off of yogurt? Okay. That yellowy looking, you want all that out. And if it's really good Greek yogurt, it means you've really strained out all the liquid. That's why it's thicker. That's the only reason.
You just put it in a strainer or something like this?
I
or-
do cheesecloth. For me, I do cheesecloth.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And it works great. It's just, oh my goodness. And then sometimes I'll make it sweetened and sometimes I'll just make it just yogurt, no sweet, just plain yogurt. Because then you can use it for things like that you would use sour cream with, or, those kinds of things. So like if I'm making smoothies, when I'm eating healthy, I do yogurt, plain, nothing in it. Otherwise, you can start your yogurt with, like, again, I haven't done this, but there's a ton of recipes online that you use the vanilla coffee creamer. I don't want to do that because of all the chemicals that are in those coffee creamers, but you can do a homemade sweet cream and put it in, then you've got your sweet vanilla kind of flavored yogurt. But it is the best yogurt you'll ever have. It's just, my dad just couldn't believe it. So he doesn't eat as much yogurt now, but I think he's almost ready for me to get him back on it again. But it's fabulous. So it just does the work for you. You don't have to think about it.
So when you make it sweet, do you put sugar in it? What
It's not,
do we-
you don't put granulated sugar in, you have to put something that's liquid sugar.
Liquid.
So you may have to melt, make a, what do you call it when you make that sugar water?
Like a syrup?
Yes, a simple syrup. So that's why a lot of people love using the sweetened coffee creams. Well, I like hazelnut, so I'll just put hazelnut coffee cream in, but that's just
Yeah.
not my thing, so I don't do that, but.
I guess if you make it plain, you can always add your fruit or
Exactly.
sweetener afterwards.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I love it, and putting blueberries in it or whatever, it's just, it has a better texture, a better flavor than any yogurt I've ever had. So, of course, I haven't bought any from, I don't know, France or wherever that it's supposed to be really good, but, yeah. Is it Greece? I don't know. Where's yogurt come from? Oh, is it Greek yogurt? Yeah, that might be Greece.
Didn't bring the yogurt.
Good catch there, Linda.
Yeah, so she said.
Okay. Artichokes. You guys, if any of you saw me on Facebook, I just posted, I am not kidding you, I had 2 artichokes
I
this
saw
big
that.
that I had to shove into my largest pot. I totally forgot about the Instant Pot. I couldn't believe it when I was done. I was like, what was I doing? It took almost 2 hours to boil those puppies soft. Artichokes. What's that?
What were you gonna do with them?
We eat them. Oh,
What were they?
artichokes.
Artichokes. When I lived in California, I had my own artichoke plants.
Oh, I would love, I
That's
love
it.
I don't think I've ever
artichokes.
ate artichokes, maybe in a dip or something.
Yeah, that's totally different. Yeah, you take the leaf and dip it in butter and you scrape off the meat on the end. Oh, and then you get to the heart in the middle and it's just a pile of it. It's the best. So if you just would have to understand what a lifesaver doing artichokes is in the Instant Pot. I just can't
Artichoke.
believe,
Don't you just peel it like that?
after it's cooked.
After it's cooked.
Yeah, you just pull the leaves off after it's cooked. Before it's cooked, you can't do that.
What do you eat?
You pull the
Smell
leaf
better.
off, you got the pointy part, the sticky part up by your fingers, you pull the leaf off, and the base is wider, and it's like a soft meat, and you put the leaf in your mouth and scrape that meat off the
You cut
inside.
You cut
Thorns
the fur off, yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
And there's different kinds of.
We don't
artichoke.
waste our time cutting the thorns off, I just leave them, but, yeah, 9 to 11 minutes, you guys.
They're good.
Normal
they're-
sized artichoke
They're an acquired taste.
takes about an hour if you're gonna simmer it. 9 to 11 minutes, and they're soft. And you know an artichoke's done when the stem is completely soft, and like if you can pick it up by the stem, it's not done.
But if you're cooking it in that, you have to wait till it cools and
No,
check
I'm
it.
talking if you boil it on the stove, if
Oh,
you simmer
oh.
it on the stove.
Okay.
I don't know if this stopped because of that one.
Now, I've not done any fish.
I made a fish, it was called a fish stew, and it's one of my family's favorites. I just couldn't figure out where I stored it, so I will look on my computer and find it. That'll be another one I'll email to you guys. It was chunks of fish meat that I just put in and made the stew, and it was so good. It was so good.
Find that, Granada Grill makes a seafood soup that's absolutely out of the world, so I'll send you.
You wouldn't think of that in a Mexican restaurant, but it's really good.
They do a lot of seafood.
It is really
Mexicans
good,
do,
yeah.
But yeah. when
Where
you
am I
find
at?
that,
I'm
I'd
at
like
5
to see it.
minutes, so the red button is still up, but I need the pressure to drop, so I'm gonna, because I know it had already dropped, so I'm okay flicking it over there, cause it's very
It says
close.
5, it still has a 5 on it.
That means for 5 minutes, it's been slowly releasing pressure. She said, wait 5 minutes, so we
Oh,
waited
okay.
5 minutes, which
Okay.
is probably longer. I may have made them into mush now, but we're gonna find out, because I've never done this before. My grandma used to do these, so it's kind of a memory food, you know?
There's always different cool kinds of cookware.
Yes.
Have you ever used or heard of Salad Master?
Yes, years ago. Oh my gosh, talk about MLM.
I have I had
Oh.
a set of it,
Well,
and I
that's
still use
interesting. Yeah, they were great.
it. They're great.
What is
Yeah.
it?
Set of dishware of pots and pans,
Cookware.
but all kinds of little. Okay, I can already tell you these are way done. Oof. Okay.
But you can do so much with the Instant Pot. You just throw away everything else.
All right, we're gonna find out.
Smells good.
Now See, this time I'm able to push my knife all the way through. To me, this is perfect now. So what I'm gonna do is put these out. You know, I had faith that 150 people were apparently showing up. Excuse me.
I expected a big crowd.
We're just gonna let it cool though, and then just take a little bite. Well, nobody gets our messages because of, you know, how we do them. I know. Well, now we're gonna be doing emails that are only from women's ministry.
How were you sending them before?
Well, church announcements, which nobody reads.
So how do you
And
get on the list for the announcements?
if you are on the website, if you're on Realm, you're getting it. You got one from me today.
Get on Realm.
You don't have to, you'll get an email
What is
from me.
Realm?
You just send it to all the women. in other words.
It's the directory for the church.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm on it. I don't
Well,
get
I
anything
can go
from
look.
it.
Well, check and see if you got an email from me today.
Weekly bulletin, don't you?
On my phone?
Yeah.
No, I didn't get anything from the church.
Well, you poor thing.
I know, and I didn't never sign up.
You have an email?
Do you,
Yeah,
are you a member?
Gmail, let's go on
Gmail.
Gmail.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine, Gmail, but do you check it every day?
No, okay.
She doesn't.
But I don't think I get anything from the church.
If you gave the church your Gmail
I
account,
probably didn't. I didn't know
check.
Check and see if you're getting stuff from Deborah.
Okay,
Deborah Shed. Okay, and it'll be there. You're not looking.
And we're sending individual emails now
I forget.
to anything that has to do with women's ministry.
Do what?
You're there, and there's your beautiful picture.
Oh, it's a horrible picture.
We know she's there. She just doesn't
And I'm there.
use it.
And her Gmail's there?
And then all your info's there, your address, your birthday, your husband, and what you do in church. And there's your email.
What I do in church? You mean if I eat a butterscotch, I know it?
Yes, you tell everybody.
Your calories, 1,000 calories you ate at church last night.
Okay, so I just go to
We're gonna let them cool so you guys can grab a piece to just kind of eat with your fingers, because I don't have forks, knives, spoons, or anything. But it smells good.
Smells great.
All right, what
It
other
should be so that you just log
questions?
into it, Sarah.
Anything that doesn't make sense to,
It should be so that when you pull up around,
They do
you
give you
just log
instructions.
into it. Mine says connect.
the first thing is, do a water
That's what it
test.
is.
Put your cup and a half of water in, set it on high, make sure the little button pops up and all that. If it does, you're good to go, but you do need to do a water test. Any other things you're thinking of, or those of you that have used yours?
Yeah, I have a question. When can you come to my house and cook me?
Yeah.
We can do that.
We
We can do a second level.
They have it.
Okay.
I don't see any emails. That's the only emails you've been getting is optimum and,
No, I don't know, bills and checks and bills. I mean,
maybe they got it after that, you know, and it never got set up.
okay. Yeah,
I think I can show the camera, but it came out
Ooh, looks great.
soft and nice, and hopefully they taste good, like our memories. Always not quite the same, huh?
My daughter was
Yeah.
here to visit for 2 nights and she has one of those big cups.
I love these. Just because it has the
This is some
flavor in
good
it.
ideas.
So when you suck it,
Yeah, make sure
grabs
they-
flavor with your water.
She wanted to go, we were in Hot Springs yesterday and she wanted to stop at some, I don't even know the name of it, coffee place. And she bought a cup of coffee that was $7.50.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Starbucks.
You can do
I
that at
didn't know it wasn't
Starbucks.
Starbucks. I can't-
There's another one up in Central. I know there's several.
Yeah.
I don't like that one on Central across from.
Paige, I wouldn't be able to swallow a cup of coffee that cost $7.50.
Seven brews.
Yep.
Seven brew?
I don't remember the name of
I
it.
think it's one they were talking
Yeah.
about.
Probably was.
Anybody know, anybody used these? Cause I've never used them. They're in my bag. I still don't know what to use them for in the Instant Pot. They're
You
wax.
can use them in your pan.
I guess. Put them under my cheesecake? I don't know. They came with
Huh.
something and I've never used them, so
I'll be honest.
if you need them, let me know. I mean, they are the size of that black one. This one's a tiny bit smaller.
They came with your Instapot?
With something. with something I bought.
How about an air fryer?
Oh no, it came with Instant Pot stuff, but it didn't
looks
come
like
with
My
this.
daughter gave me a set to go in my Instapot,
Mhm.
that's, your pieces look like that set she
Yeah.
gave me, and I think I had a pack like that too.
So this is the one to throw your hard-boiled eggs, to
Mhm.
do your boiled eggs in there.
But you
But
said you
you
like
can-
the other one better?
I like the
silicone?
one that comes with it, and the silicone one's my favorite.
Now,
These
what
ones
you
are
said you made in those,
egg bites.
how do you make those?
So it's like a, what would you call that?
Oh, those egg bites,
Not
you can
a-
get those frozen too.
Yes.
Yeah, they
So
probably say
basically, you
ounces
spray
and-
them, you know, pan, you're supposedly not, don't have to, but I do. So if you mix scrambled eggs, pour it in, you can add a little cheese, a little bacon, a little sausage, a little
A
whatever.
little celery, a little
But-
carrot, carrots, a little carrot spinach.
Yes.
Spinach,
Are you
carrots,
cooking this
spinach.
over?
And because it has a lid, you can stack two of them.
Everything I ever done was cook these. And they eat green
It's so much more good. And you can use it,
Ooh,
you know?
that's
You don't
smart.
have- If you know how,
Good
but if you don't know
strainer.
how, you.
So if you're doing
That's what you're
veggies
doing.
or the artichokes, this is what you pull out with the artichokes. However, I still would have only been able to do one of those.
So that goes inside your
In
liner.
that cooker?
This goes inside the metal.
Inside
This
the
would be a
liner.
pot inside a pot in
Yeah,
there, in your
okay.
notes when it talks about that.
Okay.
This liner has got to be in there if you're cooking, period.
Okay.
But then you can add other pots that have.
Now, what all came with your Instapot?
When you originally bought these, it was only that and
The metal.
And the trivet?
this little guy.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it.
Okay.
That's all that comes with it. These are kits you can get on like Amazon. You know, they'll come with different things in them. So some of these were my daughter's and she forgot to take them when she and her hubby moved away from me and, you know, took my grandchild and everything. You want it, you come back.
Oh.
So, well, if you guys don't mind using your fingers, you're welcome to try and see if you like the apples. There's little bowls there and a couple of napkins, but I have no spoons, forks, or anything. So,
Are those blueberries or
quarts is
raisins?
yours?
those are
Does
raisins.
it tell?
8, 10. I gotta go look, I don't remember. Here.
What kind of apples did you use?
Oh, wait.
What kind of apples
thought
did you
you
use?
I'll take a look.
Just red delicious.
Well, I'm not,
I
I'm
got
not
some-
changing, I'm trying
Oh.
Honey
I'm not
Crisp
giving you
All right, that's all I need.
Walmart delivery yesterday. and
I
they
love
had-
Honey Crisp.
They had, I do too, but those have the toughest skins on them.
Oh
The ones I got before were fine.
She said no.
no. Okay, it's 6 liters. How many quarts is 6 liters?
How many do?
It says 6 liters inside.
No.
14.
You guys like some more?
No, thank you.
18
I'm
cups
speaking.
maximum. I don't know.
Give me a napkin.
I have no idea.
Thank you.
So for a test,
Those are
it
pretty
did
tough
soften the, it did soften them. So,
Thank you.
6.3 quarts.
what?
6.3 quarts.
So it's the 6, okay, so I wonder if it's the, I think it's the 8 quart, but that might be measuring like the outside or something ridiculous.
See, these are tough skins.
Oh, here's another thing, I always forget.
So what else?
You're gonna find this little container on the back. It just slides in. It's where extra water that gets over pours in.
Oh, so it doesn't run out.
I always forget about it, so it's just nasty, it's dirty. Very rarely does anything drip into it, so
Did you say 8 quarts?
What is that, raisins?
it's close to 8 quarts.
Mine
I was
is
trying to
hot,
look at this
but
one,
it
the same
doesn't
one,
taste,
I know the same.
it's not that hot. I've only used it once.
They have different,
But,
different colors now.
But we use rose.
All right, I'm turning this off.
Some chicken.